What's going on, Harry Potter fans? My name is Dawson Reddin. I'm a proud Gryffindor, and welcome back to Fantastic Reddins and Where to Find Them. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most requested items in my collection that I've never done a video on. And the reason I haven't done a video is because, honestly, I never wanted to make this video. But we're going to do it anyways, and we're going to get into the nitty, the gritty, all the drama that came along with me purchasing this item, because I think it's something that you deserve to know about if you're planning on purchasing this item, or maybe you've already purchased this item and you're dealing with the same experience that I dealt with these companies. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Accio intro. Once again, if you're new here, my name is Dawson Reddin, and on this channel we talk all things Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and here real soon, lots of Hogwarts Legacy content. So if you enjoy any of that, please consider subscribing. And if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell. That way you're notified of any future videos that I post here on the channel, because we post content on here weekly. So let's get into this video. This is a video that I really didn't want to make, but you deserve to know about it. And actually, in doing some research for this video, I have learned some things that I didn't even know. I guess that has happened since the course of when I purchased my item. So the item that we're going to be discussing today is the Harry Potter Lord Voldemort Bust Sculpture. This is an item that was created from Nemesis Now. They do a lot of really cool Harry Potter replicas along with a lot of other stuff. They do have some really cool products. Do not get me wrong when we start to dive into this video. But this was a huge miss. And unfortunately, I wish I could recommend this item to anyone, but I just can't, and we're going to get into the whys, and I'm going to tell you what's going on with it as far as I know as of right now. So when Nemesis Now was showing this product off before it was ever released, I knew when I seen it, I had to get it for the collection. It was too cool to pass up. I really wanted to get my hands on it, and when they opened up pre-orders at several different locations that you could choose from, whether that be Amazon or Zavvi, and there was some other ones as well, I jumped right on it. I ordered mine through Zavvi because I thought Zavvi was a pretty reputable company, and I know a lot of people have purchased things through them, so that's what I did my pre-order from. Unfortunately, when this arrived months and months later after pre-orders, it came damaged. I noticed immediately when I opened up the box that it was packaged very poorly. This box was in a big brown box that was way too big for this particular box, and the only thing that was kind of keeping it from moving around was a little bit of bubble wrap, and there wasn't enough in there to keep it from moving. And literally I could take the box and shake it back and forth, and this thing was just rocking. That concerned me immediately off the bat before I even opened the box. When I did open the box up, the entire lid was completely out, and Voldemort was basically hanging out of the box. Once I pulled him completely out of the box, I noticed this entire side over here was crushed in, as you can see right there. It was crushed, and I got to be concerned really quickly about whether or not this was damaged. Once I got the item out, took a look at it, it had some damage to it. I thought, okay, this really stinks, it's unfortunate, but I'll reach out to Zavvi and I'll get it taken care of. Unfortunately, that's not how this story goes. Before we dive into that complete drama-filled story, let's go ahead and take a look at this item. So here's the outside of the box that this came in. It's that same Wizarding World packaging that we're all really used to. It's got Voldemort and Nagini here. The nameplate says Lord Voldemort. Really cool. It says Lord Voldemort, tells you that it's the bust. On the side, it also says other things that are available. They do these really cool cups. I've seen people do these, which we're going to get into a story here in just a minute about that as well. And then on the back, it talks a little bit about the item, and it gives you some other views of the particular item. It says hand-painted, high-quality sculpture. Okay. That's it. The rest is in different languages. So it's a hand-painted, high-quality sculpture. So yeah, so like I said, this was created by Nemesis Now, but I pre-ordered it through Zavvi. So Nemesis Now is actually just a wholesaler. When they create items like this, they sell it in bulk to companies like Zavvi or Amazon to turn around and then resell that item. So even though this is made by Nemesis Now, you cannot order it from Nemesis Now, and you actually can no longer order it from Zavvi either. Alright, as you can see, I have 2 of these busts, and we're going to get into why that is. But this is the first one that I received. This is the one that I was very concerned about when I opened the box. And as you can see, it came damaged. It's right here on the nameplate. You think, okay, that's really not too bad. And I thought that to myself as well. But this thing was going for like $200. And so when you pay $200 for an item like this, and you've waited on it for as long as I waited on it, as a collector, you expect to receive stuff in good condition, great condition, especially if you're buying it new. So although this was broken, I thought I'll reach out to Zavvi, I can get it taken care of, and everything's gonna be a-okay. We're good to go. I'll just ship it back and they can ship me a new one, and everything should be good. I'll let them know about the packaging. They should take care of it. Everything should be a-okay, but that was not the case. But let's take a look at the bust itself, because it's absolutely beautiful. And I have another one right back here. This one actually is unbroken, if you can believe it or not. Not a single piece of it is broken. And that is significant because, as I'm going to show you here in just a second, I know a lot of people who had ordered these and they've had the same problem, some of them even worse with the condition. But they bought it from a different company than what I bought it from, so they were able to deal with it in a little bit of a better way, I guess you could say. But I think some of them still haven't even got a bust that is completely put together. I think some of these people still have broken sculptures. So Voldemort himself is just absolutely stunning. Like I said, this is hand painted and he looks really, really good. It's hard to tell on camera, but there are some blue highlights that are in his face. You can see in certain areas. They did a fantastic job with the paint. His robes look good. The bust itself just is absolutely insane. The amount of detail, you can see the veins in the side of his head. When you turn it this way, although I wish his eyes were book accurate, it's not going to be because this is based off of the film, correct? But it just looks really, really good. Absolutely love it. Look at the detail in his mouth and in his nose. Just absolutely insane detail work in this sculpture. What's crazy to me is they took the time to detail it in such an amazing way, and the paint is done in such an amazing way. But then the customer service and the way the product was packaged was done so terribly. So as we turn it around here, you can see the crease in the back of Voldemort's head there. You see the back of Nagini here. Absolutely stunning, beautiful paint job. You cannot be upset with the paint department and the sculptor of this item because they did such a fantastic job. And I just absolutely love the way this piece looks, especially Nagini wrapping around Voldemort's shoulder there, and then that Lord Voldemort nameplate there. Just really makes it look super, super cool. I absolutely am just in love with the sculpture itself. On the bottom, it says that this is a Harry Potter item, Wizarding World, just some trademark information. And then it says Nemesis Now, and then it also says Imagination Released. So, super cool item. The problem with this item is it is super duper thin. The material that it is made out of is not very strong. If I was to accidentally knock this over, pieces are gonna break. It's just gonna snap. So you have to be very, very careful with it, which is why they had such a problem in the shipping department when it came to these items. The shipping was not good at all. The way the styrofoam is setting in this box, you only have a piece of styrofoam on bottom and on top. So it's only covering just this portion. Everything around him can be crushed in. So when this is coming from the UK or wherever it's coming from, these boxes are just getting slammed around, especially since they're inside of another box that is way too big for this box to even be in to begin with. So huge problem in the packaging department, and so many people received their bust after they had pre-ordered it, been excited about it, and waited on it. They received them crushed. I've seen some really bad ones. Mine was not as terrible as it could have been, but still, when you're paying that kind of money, once again, you want to be receiving something that, you know, you spent hard-earned money on. So I reached out to Nemesis Now first to tell them about the issue. They said that I needed to reach out to whoever I purchased it from to get a refund or to get an exchange. So that's exactly what I did. I went to Zavvi, I reached out to them, asked for an exchange. I told them what was going on, and then this is when everything just went so south. And I'm not personally going to tell you whether or not you should purchase something from one of these companies. If you feel like you want to purchase an item from them, by all means do so. I just want to lay the facts down for you. I just want to lay the information down for you. That way you can make a decision for yourself and you know what you're getting into before you ever make that purchase, because I want to make sure that the collector is being protected. Too many times the collector gets stepped on from these big companies that don't really care about the collector. They only care about the money that they're receiving. And so I'm trying to protect the collector. I'm trying to protect you. So that's why I'm bringing this story to your attention. So real quick, before I dive into the story, if you just want to know where you can purchase this item and you don't care about everything that happened in between, I will tell you that as of now, it does not look like you can purchase the item from a company. It looks like it's only available through eBay, and that is probably due to the story I'm about to tell you, because it became really popular in the community there for a minute, and Zavvi did not like it. Nemesis Now did not like it, and I'm pretty sure I'm blacklisted from both of those companies for this. But like I said, I want to make sure that you know the facts. I want to make sure that you are protected and that you know what you're getting into. So when I went to go see how much this was going for on Zavvi's website now, it says, sorry, unfortunately this product is currently out of stock, and you can add it to your wish list. It comes back into stock. I just don't see this item coming back into stock. I think that it's probably done, unless they're trying to figure out a new way of packaging, a new way of creating the item to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But as you can see here, it's not available for purchase any longer. Now, you cannot purchase this through Nemesis Now either. Nemesis Now does show it on their website, but you can't purchase it. So the only way that I have found it as of now is through a third party on eBay. There's been a couple people that are posting them here on eBay, and I've seen them going for like $160 to $200. So it seems like the price on these have dropped tremendously because people are just trying to get rid of them, probably because of the issues. Now, I do not know that for sure, but I've only been able to find just a handful of these on eBay at best. Now, you can purchase this on eBay if you would like. Just be warned that you may receive it in a broken state, but you may be able to get your money back or do whatever you need to do if that does happen. Now, my case with Zavvi was a lot different, and so we're going to get into that right now. So if you want to know about all the drama, all the stuff that happened with Zavvi and Nemesis, I'm going to get into that now. So when going through and looking for the messages between me and Zavvi and me and Nemesis Now and trying to get all this gathered up, I came across the photos I took when I opened the box, so I thought I would show you. So this was February 16th when I received the item, and this is what I was talking about. The box itself that it came in was pretty big, and this was the bubble wrap that was around it. It was just a little bit. It was scooting around all inside. And as you can see, the top lid has come open and Voldemort's kind of hanging out there. Here's another view of that. and then it was broken in the corners in 2 different spots. Here is one of the spots that it was hit. That's where the nameplate actually was broken on mine, is where that hit was right there. It was also crushed in on the other side that I showed you. That didn't do any damage to the box, but this definitely did. And that nameplate sticks off of Voldemort or off Nagini a little bit. So the slightest little bit of bump, those little spikes and stuff that are on that, they're just gonna crush and break so easily. So I took pictures of all of this. I took pictures of the broken item. This was all to be able to send to Zavvi, to send to Nemesis, and to try to solve it. So I reached out to them. They asked me who the account holder was. So I told them it was my wife who ordered the item. I told them that I'm her husband, you know, and I told them my name. And they said that I'm very sorry, but as your wife is the person who placed this order, we will need to speak directly to Kristen before we're able to assist further with this. So if I would have said I was Kristen, they would have assisted me, no questions asked, and we would have went on from there. But just because I said my name was Dawson, they immediately didn't want to talk to me whatsoever. So Kristen messaged from my account to them, if I remember correctly. They said that she had a message from her account with her name. They were really just kind of like beating me around the bush. So Kristen messaged them multiple times through Instagram. So this is when they messaged, and she said, "Hey, this is Kristen Reddin. My husband's account is the Fantastic Reddins. He's been talking to y'all about getting our product replaced." So this was the message that my wife sent Zavvi UK to try to reach out to them. Now, as she's been messaging them and trying to take care of this, Zavvi is saying they're not receiving her messages. They supposedly had checked everything, request, checked it all, and could not find her messages. They could only find mine. So I would say, okay, well, can she FaceTime you through my account? Can she call you through my account? What do we need to do? Like, do I need to have her take a picture with her in the bust or something and send it to you? What can I do? And they just kept saying, we can't talk to you through here. She has to message us. But they refused to find her messages through their Instagram, which made no sense to me. So finally, they said that they couldn't even do an exchange. They wanted to give me, I believe it was, and if I can find it here, I'll try to find it, but they wanted to give me only like 10% of my money back on the order. So I was going to keep the broken item, and I was going to get a 10% refund for a sorry, and that's all I was getting from them. And I was like, that doesn't work. Like, you sent me a broken item, I paid $200 for this item. I should either get a full refund and I'll send you this item back, or I should be able to get a replacement and I'll send you the item back. Either way. And I even took pictures of their policy, and they were breaking their own policy. And so it was just absolutely insane to deal with. So it says here on their policy, what should I do if the item is damaged? Although we take care to prevent any damage to our goods during transit, it is possible that problems may arise, which is A-okay. It happens. Please accept our apologies if you have received a damaged item. We ask that you do not refuse the delivery. Instead, accept the goods and contact us immediately. Refusal may actually result in a delay of the parcel being returned. You can contact us through our account using online message center or through our social media. So this is the things that I was doing. So I pretty much was doing literally everything I could do to get in touch with them. My wife messaged again, said, my husband said I'm supposed to message you again on here. I've been messaging through the website as well. My email is blah, blah, blah. This is my account login on your website too. So everything was being sent. I mean, absolutely everything. I'm going to cover up her email address, but we were sending all this information to Zavvi, and we're not getting it. We're not getting it. So finally I messaged Nemesis Now thinking, okay, I'm going to contact them, let them know what's going on with Zavvi, let them know that I'm not getting any help. They're basically refusing to help me or get a refund. I was literally going in circles with them. I thought maybe they can do something to help me. They reached out to me and said, hey, we've done all that we can do to help with regards to offering you advice and pointing you in the right direction, and we've passed your feedback along. However, with regards to money, as you didn't pay us directly for the item, we have no say nor control over this, and something you need to take up with Zavvi customer service team. They should have a phone number on their website for you to call and ask for assistance with your issue. So Nemesis Now refused also to help me. They didn't want anything to do with it. There was messages before this as well. They literally were just like, sorry about your luck. This is what you're gonna have to do, is just go through them, which Zavvi wasn't doing anything either. So it was just so terrible. So Zavvi beating me around the bush constantly, telling me that they couldn't deal with me, they had to deal with my wife. But then when my wife was trying to directly contact them in any way she could, they were just absolutely refusing. I finally did the only thing that I knew to do, and that was to take to Instagram and try to get help through the community. So I started sharing stories, I started sharing my experience. People started jumping on board, sharing the story, tagging Zavvi, tagging Nemesis Now, and we pretty much just kind of bombarded them, not really harassing, but just letting them know that as a community, as a Harry Potter community, we weren't going to stand for this, and that they couldn't get away with treating the collector or their customers in this way. It just wasn't going to work. And so many people reshared posts, made their own stories, and really kind of just said, listen, we're not dealing with this. And it was so amazing, the support from everybody. And so finally we broke through, and I got a message from a guy named Joe. He was a big manager at Zavvi. He said, my deepest apologies are due. I've watched all of the videos, and it really does upset me. As a collector myself, I would very much like to get this resolved immediately. Could you possibly provide your partner's IG handle so I or one of them can personally pick this up as soon as possible? The reason that this was like such a big thing was that I had asked Zavvi to reach out to my wife. If you're not seeing my wife's messages, you're not getting her all of her information, here's her stuff, reach out to her, which they weren't doing either. They refused to do that as well, until this Joe guy asked finally to take care of it. So finally, after all of this, they were able to get with my wife and get this resolved. So they messaged her, they got it all worked out. They said, don't worry about sending the other one back, we're gonna send you a brand new one. And they said, if it arrives damaged, please let us know. So after literally like 2 weeks of just back and forth between these companies, and finally just having to put them on blast, which I did not want to do because I do not like doing that, but it was the only option I had left, we were able to finally get it taken care of. So during all of this, a ton of other people were reaching out to me because they were dealing with some of the same problems, not directly through Zavvi, but with the actual item itself that came from Nemesis Now. So I'm going to go through a little bit of this with you. This one reached out to me and said, hey, I feel your pain. I ordered this as well from Amazon, and it too arrived damaged. With the item this delicate, it seems the maker Nemesis Now did a poor job of packaging for it. I don't know why they don't have it with styrofoam on all sides instead of only top and bottom. The secondary stores that sell this also have a responsibility to package well and cushion the box, which Zavvi did not. I absolutely love the look of the Voldemort, but I warned against purchasing it to anyone I talked with about it. I would only purchase in person if possible to inspect. Such a shame. So yes, if you're somewhere where this is available and it's in person, and you can inspect it and look at it and make sure it's not damaged, go ahead and purchase it. It's a great buy. But do not order from anywhere, would be what I would say. And as of right now, like I said, you can't do so unless you order it through like a third party, through eBay, like someone who's already purchased one. They also sent me some pictures of their bust damaged. Says, hope you can see it well. This one was chipped by where his name is. The other arrived with Nagini's head off. So this person got two different ones. The first one, they had issues with the nameplate just like me. It's hard to tell in the photo. But if you zoom in, you can kind of almost see it here. It was kind of in the same area as mine. And then they said that their other one came with Nagini's head completely off the bus, so which is insane. That person went along and told me some other information as well about what they were dealing with. So here's another example. This was the Half-Blood Collector. He also ordered this item. He did his through, I believe, Amazon is what he told me. And as you can see, his arrived broken as well, all along the bottom there, just cracked all the way across. So this was his first one, and I believe that he ended up getting an exchange for this. And when he received the new one, it also was broken as well. So they were just continuously showing up broken. So to make things even weirder, Nemesis Now and Zavvi were pretty much Instagram stalking me for about another 2 to 3 weeks after this, until I finally asked them to stop. They were literally viewing all of my stories, coming and checking on my page constantly, trying to see what I was saying about the item, to see what other people were saying about the item. It was very strange. I finally did ask them to stop kind of stalking me, which they finally did. Another issue that I wanted to bring up, this is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. A good friend of mine in the Harry Potter community took some photos of their cups that you saw on the side there and posted it on their Instagram. These exact same people, Nemesis Now, took his picture and stole it off of his site, cut all of his information out, trimmed it down, added the Wizarding World logos and all the artwork down underneath it to make it look like it was one of their own photos, and used it on their own page and website. Here it is. I did kind of like a busted thing and tagged them in it, because this is just wrong, absolutely wrong. You're taking someone else's stuff and you're getting credit for it. Here is the photo that was taken, and then this is what they did without permission. Just absolutely insane. So honestly, Nemesis Now, Zavvi, I'm done with both of those companies. I will no longer purchase anything from them. They have lost all my respect as a collector. I will not do business with either of them again. And I just wanted to let you guys know about that experience and to talk to you about the bus. Once again, I'm not telling you to not purchase anything from either of these companies. If you feel comfortable doing so, if you've had good experiences with them, then please continue to purchase whatever you want through them. I just want to tell you, like I said, my experience, what I went through, and just kind of lay the facts out for you. That way you understand what you may or may not be getting into if you order something from one of these companies, especially if you were going to be looking for the Voldemort Bust, which, like I said, right before making this video, I found out they're not even selling it anymore anyways. If they do return the bust back into stock once they get the packaging and all of that stuff figured out, then I would wait and see how people react once they start receiving them. I don't know if I would jump out and just immediately buy it. You may want to see the reaction from people that purchase it again. I honestly, in my opinion, I don't see them bringing it back. I just think that they lost too much money in it when it was released. So many of them were damaged and destroyed and were returned, and I just think they've lost too much money to bring it back. If they bring it back, I will be 100% shocked, but that is my experience. This one over here, like I said, arrived perfectly a-okay. They made sure to do all the packaging correctly the second time around, I guess because they didn't want to have to deal with it again. They were kind of probably done with me at the end of all of that. But yeah, and this other one over here I'm going to be giving away to someone. I don't know who yet, but it will be going to a new home. I don't need two of them. There's no reason for me to have two of them, so I'll be looking for a new home for it. here soon. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it wasn't just a super Debbie Downer. Hopefully it was informative and it let you know a little bit about what you may or may not be getting into if you decide that you're going to purchase something that's from either of these companies, whether it's Nemesis Now who's making it, or if it's Zavvi who is selling it for Nemesis Now. Both of them doing some really, really shady stuff, and both of them not being so cool. Whether it was Nemesis Now stealing artwork from other content creators, or Zavvi for not following their own return policy and really making someone have to jump through hoops and hoops and hoops to try to get anything done, and only offering a 10% money back on the $200 item that you just purchased from them that is broken. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much once again, seriously, for all the love and support. Tons of content coming to the channel. I'm like super hyped for all the stuff that we're going to be doing here on the channel. Once again, if you're new here, my name is Dawson Reddin, and we do Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts content weekly. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell. That way you're notified of any future videos that I post on the channel, because we post on here weekly. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Knox.
Doesn't quite understand me. Know what I mean?
Woohoo!